So this is called WhereI'dLive.com. I am going to be marking exactly the countries and US states I would really want to live in. Wait, Iraq? That's crazy. How did I take that out? And what's really cool about this place is we have the stats of what everyone else chose. So out of 8.5 million total votes, the #1 state is actually Washington, weirdly, with an average score of 2.23 out of 4. That's pretty good. Nobody wants to live in the deep south. Less people voted for the overall world chart, but I'm excited for the world chart. I'm going to do both today. Out of the 1.1 million total votes, obviously the top ones are, well, yeah, the likely suspects. We have the USA, Canada, Western Europe, a lot of Europe, basically Australia, New Zealand, and Japan. I can't say I'm gonna probably choose anything different out of Africa. 0.27 for Chad. Come on, Chad. The world cities map is basically, well, the exact same map, but you do get like a little bit more specific areas, at least if people are picking Brazil. There's significantly less votes here, though. How is it only 138? Berlin is the most popular. Berlin is pretty fly, but oh wow, there's different ways to organize the information too. Okay, well, I like my maps though. Bro, Russia's got a better score than Belarus right now. Russia actually has a better score than Moldova. What the hell? Damn, Moldova. I guess f you then. So many different individual states and countries that you can break down. That's really cool. I don't know enough information about this, but yeah, so like I said here, we're gonna start with the US state map, and then we're gonna move on to the world map. Okay, so it's really important to note, it is key to note that we are just talking about where I'd live. It's just my opinion, and this has nothing to do with the places I'd visit, because I'll be honest with you, I would basically visit any place in the world. Screw it, North Korea, I do not care, I would visit it. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the nevers right here. These are the states that I would never, ever want to live in. I'm sorry to say, but Alaska, I've never visited Alaska. I heard it's absolutely beautiful up there, but I don't handle the cold very well. West Virginia is probably going to be a no. I don't love KFC that much, so Kentucky's gonna have to be a no. I'm sorry, Louisiana, you've already been through a rough patch, but I just can never see myself living in Louisiana. I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but the flat states in the middle, I could just never see it. I'm sorry. I'm a city boy. It's important to note, I am a city boy. South Carolina is going to probably get a no for me. Honestly, I mean, I don't want to judge these places because a lot of these places I've never actually visited. So it's very likely that I could change my mind on these topics. Oh, New Mexico's definitely a no just because I heard it's very dangerous. This is all getting nevers. Now, I'm going to skip my birth state of Alabama. I don't think I can see myself living there, but I could see myself visiting and then maybe changing my mind and maybe wanting to. I don't know, man. I'm biased. Delaware and Rhode Island are definitely getting nevers for me just because I don't know what the heck goes down here. Connecticut too. Probably Vermont. I'm trying really hard to not do something stupid here that in like 10 years from now, I'm going to be like, wow, I got that totally wrong. Okay, so the next category is reluctantly. I guess that would be Oregon and Washington and maybe Idaho and Montana, probably Colorado too. So I'm a little bit biased because I do know a lot of the states that have no state income, and I like those states. I automatically like that. So they do get a pretty big advantage for me personally. I don't want there to be a state income tax wherever I move to next. Guess Georgia, I guess Tennessee. Hold on, North Carolina. I'm sorry, North Carolina. And Virginia, nah. Maryland, Indiana, Ohio. Okay, damn, why am I so mean? Minnesota, Wisconsin, they're pretty cold. I think I'll leave Michigan. I mean, there's Philadelphia and Pennsylvania. I really doubt it. Let me just skip ahead and get one green on the map. California, I already live in, so obviously that would go in the willing category for me. I just know I won't live here forever. The maybes would go to probably Arizona, probably Hawaii, Wyoming possibly, because again, I did talk about states that do not have income tax. This is where like really rich people live to avoid taxes, like Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. Illinois is going to go in the maybe category for me, and it's only because I did say I'm a city boy. I want to visit Chicago first. I've heard great things about Chicago. Let's see if it goes well. Hopefully I don't get shot. Maybe Michigan. I'm gonna put Alabama in that category, and then I think that's it. Okay, so we're back to the willing. I'm definitely willing to live in Boston and New York. So Massachusetts for Boston and New York City for New York. I'm willing to. I don't know if I would stay there forever, and then like probably just like the Hoboken area for New Jersey. That's basically why I kept them in the category. This is surprising to some people. I visit Texas so often. I don't really like to visit Texas. I've been going my entire life. I think it's boring, personally, which I know for a lot of like people, like friends outside of the states, they're like, what, really, Texas is quintessential America. Yeah, but I've been going to Texas since I was like 4 years old. My family lives out here. I think it's incredibly boring. However, I've only ever visited Dallas and then like just BMF Texas. Bum effing no. BFM. Bum nowhere. I'm visiting Austin this weekend. We'll see if that changes my mind. I just realized we're probably not going to get a single absolutely because I don't really know yet. Yeah, because Vegas is definitely going in willing, and so is Florida. These are, I guess, my states. Wow, that was actually a pretty easy map to fill out. Once again, want to reiterate, this is not where I would visit. I would visit all of these places. I would love to take a road trip and visit all of these states. Then maybe I'd get a much better map and a better realistic look at, what places I'd like to, stay in and live in permanently. Oh, I forgot to mark DC. Yeah, DC's getting a never for me. So basically half the states got a never, which I don't think is surprising. I feel like a lot of people probably put a lot of the US under never. So that's 49%. 0 states got actually absolutely, because I'm just not sure. 7 states got the willing. That's 14% of the US I'm willing to live in. And to be fair, it's not even 14% of the US because we're not even talking about, I'm just talking about cities. Like I would need to live in a city, like I mentioned. A lot of Texas is not a city, that's for sure. Here's the city map. So I'm obviously, I live in LA, but I'm from Long Beach. So those are both getting willings. Definitely San Diego. On record for not liking the Bay Area. I really don't. It's not, no, I've actually never been to Oakland. I don't know about Oakland, but San Francisco, hell no. Maybe like 10 years ago when San Francisco was still nice. San Jose would get like a maybe. Vegas definitely gets a maybe for me. I'm not going to mark the cities I've never been to, so I can't do Portland. I don't want to say never. I would do reluctantly. I don't really like Seattle, but I would put a reluctant category up there. I had Texas green, but I'm just saying Dallas and, yeah, Fort Worth and Dallas, hell no. No, this part of Texas I'm not a fan of. Definitely willing to live in Hawaii, that's for sure. I think I'm more willing to live in the city of Miami. Orlando's a maybe for me. These are the only 2 cities I've been to in Florida. Yeah, absolutely New York City. I don't know about absolutely because I didn't put these states in the willing. I put them, whatever. We're just going to keep the absolutely category. I like how Alabama doesn't even have a single city on here. What the hell? How does Alabama not have a city, but you gave Cheyenne, Wyoming a city? What? So, yeah, this map was mainly just about showing the cities that I would live in. So that's why a majority are getting a higher percentage there. All right, here we go. This is the moment people have been waiting for. The world map, because I would absolutely live abroad. That's for sure. Last time I'm going to repeat it. This is not the places I want to visit. These are the places I would live permanently. So never, let's just get this out of the way. I'm not living in Antarctica. I am probably not living in Namibia. I'm definitely not living in South Africa. I don't know about Botswana. I've been hearing good things about it. But yeah, I'm gonna probably get a lot of these nevers out of the way. I heard good things about Rwanda. I'm sure I'll visit Egypt one day, but I'm sure I'll have no interest in living there. Yeah, I just think with the way I look, I think South Africa might be a bad idea currently or anytime in the future. Highly interested in visiting Ethiopia, but it's gonna have to be a never for now. Equatorial Guinea is kind of an interesting one because they do speak Spanish, and maybe I'd live on that island. There's a part of Equatorial Guinea that's part of continental Africa, and then there's an island, which I think their capital is actually held on. Again, gonna have to go in the never category, but who knows? The only place I could give in Africa reluctant is Morocco. I will give Morocco reluctant because I'm very curious. I think it could be. I've heard really nice things about it. You know what? I've actually heard, I saw really nice things about Tunisia. That also is gonna get reluctantly, and that's gonna be it. That's about it. Of last few nevers, never in Syria, never Iraq, definitely not Yemen, definitely not North Korea, definitely not Iran, definitely not Afghanistan, definitely not Pakistan, not Saudi Arabia. Belarus is certainly getting a never. Brunei scares me because they have like a Islamic monarchy dictator in charge, and I heard it's a little wild, to be honest. Myanmar currently gets a never because it's in the middle of a civil war, so I seriously doubt that I would go there. Papua New Guinea's gonna get a never. Cuba's probably gonna get a never. Venezuela's gonna get a never. Oh, that's just, yeah, both of them get a never. I'm actually gonna skip to the absolutely categories. Or wait, absolutely scares me. Absolutely would be the United States, and that's about it. All right, let's do Canada. Bro, I want to visit Canada. I have no interest in visiting Canada for a very long time. I'm sorry to say, I've said it before, but like, it just doesn't seem that interesting to a place. I'm sorry. Maybe Quebec. Quebec seems interesting because they got the French speakers over there. Besides that, it is not at all high on the priority list. Now, that's not to say that maybe in 2026 I'll visit Canada. I don't know. The right opportunity's got to come up, but I have like such low interest. Like, I'm a traveler that likes to see like a completely different world, and Canada's just the USA, but they apologize more and they like hockey. Like, I just don't care. I guess it's fine. I'll give it a maybe category, but I just am not that interested at all. I'm sorry, Canada. I guess Toronto seems cool. Vancouver to visit. I mean, maybe it should go up higher in the list, but I'm just gonna keep it down. I mean, I don't know, Canada. And what's funny is I'm willing to give Mexico a maybe because I've been to Mexico way more times. I'm more interested in Mexico. I like the food, and I know the spots to go and where to definitely not go in Mexico. Now, right now, you don't want to necessarily go to Mexico because apparently the cartel are coming after Americans. But once that passes, there you go. I'm gonna come on down. Oh, I'll give an absolutely. Spain. Definitely, I already know for sure Spain gets an absolutely for me. I already knew that with all my travels in Europe. That's one of the only green. That might be the only other absolutely that comes on this list. Honestly, like both the French, the UK I don't really want to live in. I'm sorry. I'm willing to, but I don't really want to. You guys we all got problems. Listen, the entire Anglosphere world got problems, but, you know, I think it's like one of those, like, the grass is not always greener. The devil I know is better than the devil I don't, and I don't know the devil in the UK, or in Canada, or in Australia, or New Zealand, for that matter. So, yeah, I just don't know the problems they face over there. France is also gonna get, a maybe. One of my friends lives in France. Seems chill for a little bit. I'd give Ireland a willing. It was pretty nice in Ireland. I would definitely give Germany a willing. Italy, the Netherlands, I guess. If you give me unlimited cash, because Switzerland's so expensive, I would go to Switzerland. Let's go to a different part of the world. Australia, New Zealand. I mean, I've never been to these places, but they obviously get maybes. I mean, that seems like an obvious choice. Now, ASEAN. I would definitely live in a lot of these countries. I will say that. I've been to these places now. Thailand for sure willing. Vietnam for sure willing. Actually, they're not even willing. I would put these higher up. I don't know if I can do that because people are going to be like, bro, you gave Canada a maybe, and then you gave Thailand, the Philippines, and Vietnam absolutely. I'm going to live like a king over there. I'm not going to live like a king in Canada. In fact, I'm going to live like a peasant in Canada. I would do a willing for Malaysia and Cambodia. I don't think I would go to Laos. I'm going to give that a maybe. I would give like an even lower for China. It would not be a never, because China's very nice, from what I've saw, but yeah, that's fine. I don't know enough about South Korea, I haven't visited yet. Definitely Japan's automatically gonna get a maybe, because it's just such a, typically, so I don't know, I've never been yet, but it's pretty nice from the videos and stuff like that. Indonesia, I don't know enough about, but I really did not like the traffic in Bali, so I'll tell you that. I would not want to deal with that all the time. Reluctantly in India. Now, I have heard some really nice things about the nation of Oman. I don't know if anyone can back me up there, but I've heard really nice things about Oman. So I'm actually going to put that in the maybe category. I don't know anything really about the UAE and Qatar, so I guess they'll just be maybes. I think Jordan's pretty nice in the Middle East. Oh, I've actually heard Turkey's pretty nice. That's also going to get a maybe. Keep in mind, a big thing for me is I'm trying to figure out how far my US dollar would go. That definitely is factoring in. I mean, that needs to. If you're an American thinking about, and you're doing this map, you need to think about how far your dollar is going to go. And that's going to impact. So when people come at me and be like, bro, you would live in, you know, you don't want to live in France, the UK, or, you know, Canada. Well, yeah, like I said, my dollar's not going to go far at all in these places. It would go very far in a lot of Asia. I would really want to visit these places, but live here, I don't think so. So, sorry, we're going to finish off that part. East Timor is one of the poorest places on Earth. Timor-Leste. So that's definitely getting a never. Never for Mongolia, probably never for Russia, and yeah, all of Central Asia, that's going to be a never because I think they might get invaded by Russia. I don't really know, man. Never for Ukraine, I don't want to die. Portugal's getting a maybe, even though I've spent so much time in Spain, I never made my way over to Portugal. Portugal's Balkan, though. I do like the Balkans. I've heard great things about Poland. I've never been to Poland, but yes, my ancestors come from Denmark, apparently. It's kind of an automatic, you got to give all the Nordic countries a maybe, right? Like, who's not? I would really like to know who's not giving the Nordic countries at least a green or at least a might or above, right? I think Greenland is a little bit too cold. I'm good. I'm going to pass on that. I'd be very afraid to live in the Baltic states just because, again, the threat of Russia. A lot of the Balkans I've never visited, so this is just kind of guesses, but yeah, this, you know, Serbia, Bosnia, they got reluctantly. Macedonia, Croatia, and Slovenia, they get willing. Again, I've never been to those places, but I've heard good things, so I'm already willing to put them on a willing. Definitely, there's places in South and Latin America that I would be willing to visit or live. Sorry, not visit. A lot of places I would visit. I think Colombia and Argentina get willing, to be honest. At least for 1 year, right? Like I'm thinking about this category this whole time. I've been thinking about would I be willing to live in these places for 1 year, not forever, or for a singular year. I guess I should have started this video off with that. Haiti, both these islands are getting, yeah, the whole island's getting a never for me. Heard the DR is a little bit dangerous. I would maybe live on the U.S. territory of Puerto Rico. Costa Rica was nice as hell when I visited. That's definitely getting a maybe. Sorry, not even. It's getting a willing. And that means actually a lot of the Central America probably gets maybe a maybe for me. Maybe not Belize. I've heard that Belize is very poor. I don't know what to do with Brazil. I almost want to put them in willing, even though I don't know much about Brazil and I'll probably not survive. I think I feel better about putting Brazil in maybe. Paraguay, Bolivia probably probably gonna get that same thing. I'll extend the Willings to Chile, Peru, and Uruguay. Even though I don't know that much about those places, they're pretty safe. They're fairly safe. Oh yeah, what do I do about Taiwan? I'd be scared to live in Taiwan. It's very nice, very nice. I'm just afraid that I'm, gonna be in the middle of a Chinese invasion. All right, I like this map. I think this is cool. I think we did it in a probably more diverse way than the average person would probably do it. Did I forget Belgium and some of those smaller places? Is Luxembourg even on this map? It is. They're just barely on the map. Where's the Vatican City? Can I live there? Oh, I missed a lot of countries, but it's fine. I missed a lot of the islands and stuff. 82 countries got never. That's actually not that bad. I bet you most people, when they fill this out, it's way higher than 50%. But we have 15 countries in the reluctant. I got 5 countries in absolutely, 24 in willing. I think that's pretty cool. I'm sure there might be a charged comment section down below about some of my choices here, but hey, this is just my opinion, and it'll more than likely change a lot 1 year from now when I visit even more of the world. If you liked this video and you want to see more like this, please subscribe. And also, we got plushies for sale. We got Byzantium, Venice, and the Ottomans. If you want those, head over to makeshift.com by using that first link down below. DruuuWu Labubu, Drew's AI girlfriend, LuxembourgLover, LoreTrack, William, Never Change Drew, unless you want to, Nolan, AlexandertheTerrible, NordTyrol, Migloo the Goat, KingBearHaze, Connor Pavlik, Fredrik Tibblin, and Tambre. To all my Patreon subscribers this month, thank you. If you want your name here, check the description down below.